Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to be reorganizing the cargo area in this Ford Mustang Mach 1, but it also applies to all the Performance Pack Mustangs, the GT500, pretty much all the Mustangs without the spare tire option. As you can see here, there's this piece of styrofoam that's covering this whole area. It contains the filler agent air compressor with the tow hook under. There's a couple of reasons why I want to reorganize this cargo area. So we'll start with the fact that sometimes I go on errands and I just want to put a couple things in the trunk and I don't want them to shift around. So having the smaller space makes them stick together and not shift across the whole trunk, and also it gives a cleaner look. I also have to say that removing the styrofoam under the lid will remove some of the support, so I don't personally put anything heavy in the trunk, so that's not going to be an issue for me, but I will be working on a design for an extra support if you have to put something really heavy in your trunk and you don't want to break that little lid. So stay tuned for an update on that, and let's move on to the next steps of installing that carpet. I'm going to remove it now to see how we're going to do this. So as you can see, it's not very flat, and there's this big piece of metal protruding out in the center. A little bit of sound insulation at the bottom of the main panel. So I'm going to take some felt and some velcro, and I'm going to lay it down at the bottom and try to make it fully reversible. So once everything is put in place, as you can see, I put the velcro in the low spots of the floor to make sure there would be as little bumps as possible. And cutting this piece of felt wasn't that easy because it's a square piece and there's so many curves and little bumps, but I'm going to try to do my best. But I'm not a professional carpet installer, but it's also under the panel. It's mostly a protective layer to make sure that when I put cargo there, it doesn't scratch the paint and it doesn't scratch the cargo. So I'll be using this little wax pen that I used to mark tires with, but we're going to just draw this line, so we're going to just wash it off with a rag afterwards, and then we're going to cut the excess off. That's what it looks like. And then all we have to do is do the last 4 little panels just to make it better with this pretty abrupt curve here, and it's pretty hard to make because the stock mat is not very straight. One side is not cut the same as the other one, so when you're using, let's say, the left piece, you put it on, it's hard to line up with one hand, but like it lines up perfectly. But if you just mirror it on the other side, then it doesn't really line up perfectly. So I'll have to make 2 completely separate pieces, and then it's going to affect the last 2 pieces too. But once that's complete, that's what it looks like. So everything's glued together. It's a 5-piece mat, and as you can see here, that's the back left corner. Just comes together with velcro, and there's the access for the tail lights there, so I could just peel it off quick with the velcro. And the velcro pieces, I'll just mark it around there to know the placement of them, and I'm gonna glue them on permanently. But on the car, I'll leave the stock glue so I can just peel it off and go back to stock if I ever need to. You never know. My dog. So we're just back outside. I'm installing the mat, and pretty straightforward, as you can see. Just like make sure there's no like bumps, but like all the measures were taken, and it's just velcroed. I'm gonna have to work on a design for the metal extrusion. I think I'm gonna do either a plastic part or just some foam. It's pretty sharp, so I don't want to damage any cargo that I'm gonna be putting there. But honestly, like, I'm pretty happy with the result. And there you go. So once this step is done, I still want to keep that pump and that tow hook, but I don't want it to be on that big piece of styrofoam because that would kind of defeat the purpose. So I'm going to be working on the design. This is part 1, but I'll be making a part 2 next week. And I want the pump to be there and the tow hook to be near. I came up with this design, so I'm going to 3D print it with plastic, and then I'm going to put felt between the plastic and the pump to make sure I got a snug fit and reduce vibration. I'm going to go like this. Then I can just like slide it out and put it back in if I ever need to. Should be a pretty straightforward design, like simple and very, very compact. So make sure you stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.